The Barracks.
You're right. The dog was home when you left. You're right. The cat was home when you left. You're right. The fish was home when you left. You're right. Your mommy, your daddy, your brother, your sister, the dog, the cat, the fish was home when you left. You're right. And that's the reason you left. You're right. I left my home. I left my home. Join the army. Join the army.
For us, nah, episode.
Man, them on the road.
That's my boy.
It's
gotta do all of that. Let's get to it.
Move.
I pledge allegiance to the ways and the code of masculinity. Never at any point should the feminine burden affect my decision-making capacity. So I'm getting.
We move.
Plan. It was a good time. Hey, which I told about two.
Fit.
Hey, now you feel later, man. Sengizofika la impela sonto sesikhathi sethu sibuyele nomsebenzi ojulile.
What?
Hey, singivusele nani malanga ngilamahle sesibuyile. Welcome back to another episode of The Barracks. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow The Barracks SD on Instagram and on Twitter. Yo, sing it like a song now.
Clocked it.
Clocked it. My boy, what are we talking about today?
Gee. No, this
What are we talking about today?
The Sunday service. Keep on cool. Keep on cool the Sunday service.
I'm the man of the times in yeah, I'll see that.
My version of my sleepless again.
Yeah.
So, it's the pre-Sunday service. From the Masuku. So,
I'm not sure about grief. I take your word for it.
well, we'll see how it goes. You know what I mean? So, we're just gonna title this sermon Madness.
The madness.
You know them once. Yeah. Because we say madness a lot, right?
Yeah.
On our chats. You know, when we're describing something, we don't want to go into detail. Just
It's a madness.
yeah. Well,
So I guess for this episode, you'll be getting a little bit of context on the madness. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a lot of madness going on.
yeah, chief, it's bad, bro.
There's a lot of madness going on, dog.
And I think a lot of the madness right now is on our side.
Of course.
Most of it is on our side. So now the only outrage that we can grab on is we see it matters is now on the madness like us. Right?
I need to know that's how they justify it.
That's how they justify it.
So you guys did it first. How come when you guys do it? You know?
And the unfortunate thing for we see the prophecy of the evidence about
Yeah, you make it
the
say about the
evidence when I want
Treasure come yes.
see
I don't know what's why didn't you so you'll give back this year so clean. Which is ironic that we do this on a Sunday.
yeah.
But we see a lot of madness and then people turn the other side, then on for Sunday.
Sunday or front and center singing in front of the church, bro. Playing the keyboard in front of the congregation, taking the offering.
Shout out to the keyboard players.
And the drummers. Man play too much. Man play too much. But ultimately, the madness needs to slow down from the host.
How can it though? How can it? Because it makes them eligible for viscous innards, and so they think. So they're encouraged to do the madness, because there's benefits to the madness.
Also, there's different kind of madnesses. You know what I mean? There's different kind of madnesses, dog.
So there's a different kind of madness, and in any situation, you could be doing a madness.
Yeah, dog. Because if you're in school, you're bunking school all the time.
Like that.
Madness. if you got a job, you only pull up 2 days a week.
Madness.
And you're in a relationship, smashing bare hands, cheating on her.
Oh.
Madness. You're married, impregnating every next girl you meet. Madness. You know what I'm saying? Even as a single crushing everything that walks.
Madness.
I do that.
You know what I mean? Hey, man. No, the thing is, though, when there's levels to the madness, though. Because you see, me and the one that I'll focus on, particularly for this episode, it's us as O's not having standards or failing to articulate or stipulate said standards. Because, there's an outrage when you do that.
Yeah, I think we
touched on that in another episode, but now we need to really get deep into it and be like, no, but that is also the simping thing. It's a madness when it's over. I'm telling you now, dog. It's a madness when it's over.
We're gonna have to put up the definitions. We're just gonna put the definition up for all of us to read and understand what is simping.
Facts,
right?
Facts.
Because
my boy,
you really don't like that madness.
Nah, dog. It's a lot. Because the thing is, you see, when you be simping hard, dog, and then now low quality hands start thinking they're high quality hands / high value hands, when that's not necessarily the case. But then how you gonna tell a broad she a 2 when 5 out of 10 niggas hit on her? So already now she's average at best. Because it has stats. Say numbers 5 out of 10.
Numbers.
You know?
If you look at make it practical, if you look at Olivier Giroud's numbers, right? Chelsea striker, France as well. You look at his numbers, you look at the things he's won. A kid 20 years from now, my brother was saying, so a kid 20 years from now would see his stats, they wouldn't understand how he did it.
Facts.
Right? So again, going back to what you're saying, numbers.
Because he's not a premium striker.
No.
He's not not trying to buy him.
No, he's not top 10.
But the team needs him.
He's effective. And he's on a team that wins. So it looks like you're actually doing something. You see what I mean? So
that's the issue, dog. Because now it's like, dog, I hate this thing, dog, of 2s being as entitled as 8s are. Right? I hate it. And we are the ones that do that enable that action, you know? So we need to stop that. You know? And them also on their side. Everything that they complain about, they gravitate towards. They need to stop that. You know, if I say, yo, broke niggas don't get no ass, don't get no broke niggas ass. Check all the baby daddies, all them deadbeat niggas. It's broke niggas that hit it. You let that nigga hit raw, and then you're gonna come and complain to us, bro. It's not our problem, bro. It's not our fault. You let a broke nigga hit.
Yes.
Isn't the mandate broke niggas deserve no pussy?
Right. So, not hit that loud.
Now we need to switch it on our side as well. Be like, cool. Bats deserve no dick also. No attention, nothing.
Bats don't deserve anything from the men.
Man, I got me a couple of bats right now. Come on, dog. Nah, fam.
Oh no, that's
we're moving right, dog. All the time.
Oh yeah, today's gonna be fun. Wow. See? Because the other thing is now, everything's just tying in together nicely. It goes back to the buying experience checking in.
Yeah.
You let a broke man slam you and give you a youth. And you had this man's youth.
Yeah.
But I must come and pay a higher price for not the best product. That's not fair. Right? That's not fair. But
again, fairness, my boy.
We can't complain about fairness, we just have to move accordingly. Because ultimately, when we have standards, it's going to push everyone to do better.
That's my point, dog.
Yeah.
That's my point, dog. You see, if everything gets to a point where it's like, yo, you know what? You are not worthy of the thing that you want. Work on yourself. Everyone will be forced to. But the thing is, if I'm still getting rewards that people that are worthy are getting as well, I feel worthy.
You see?
Because I'm getting the same result.
Yeah.
Sometimes even better.
Bro, that's true, bro. Because, like, I was having a chat with my man, and he's like, yo, I said to him, you know what, bro? Because we see the hands moving, man, dog. Well, we move, man, but the hands are moving, man, too.
Yeah.
And we meet a hand, and she's giving you the premium treatment.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, you find out, this hand has a nigga, dog. Yeah. Okay. And I'm like, you see, being a boyfriend sucks when things like this happen.
get the short end of the stick.
You always get the short end of the stick, dog. You always get the short end of the stick. Ganzi, it shouldn't be that way. Because ultimately, times are different. We don't respect what we're doing. We don't take it seriously. So my thing is always, look, if you're not taking this thing seriously, don't do it. Don't do it, dog.
No, this thing even extends as far as marriage, dog. So this is not a chant we can give people right now because no one is listening and they don't want to start moving back. You see, like with the boyfriend experience, I said that on the Double Standards episode where I was talking about, the one that's favored for the situation and this vibe is the one that's going to have to pay the most. He's the one that's getting the worst buying experience. Because if a girl likes you, she sees you as boyfriend material, she won't guy you. Guns a guy that's passing by, no guy saying time. Chip.
Yeah.
So now you are paying for the good qualities that you actually possess. The exact qualities that she sees and wants from you. Now you're paying for that. But you know, this one is good 3 months, you know, we must build. Nah. Me I come to in out. When I 3 months, I'm making 90 days, 90 days, dog. I'm come 90 minutes, son.
Yeah.
What's your phone, man? 90 days, 90 minutes, bro. 2 hours is in there. How is that fair? Me when you start no,
my deal, the madness is too much.
But we are the ones that control the whole thing, dog. Because if we started moving right, trust me, they are forced to move right.
Yeah. Because our biggest problem, I think, at this point, obviously experience is one thing, right? Because I think we are a very traumatized generation,
with everything that is happening.
Everything that's happening. That's from the year you were born to now. We've seen a lot of shit. We take it very lightly.
Yeah.
But we've seen a lot of things. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we now then cling on to that. You tell me a madness now. I'm clinging on to that. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm protecting my ass.
Yeah.
So I must also move mad to protect my ass. Because if you don't move mad, boy,
the madness gonna happen. The madness will get you, though. The madness will get you.
That's how it goes, bro. That's how it goes.
I don't know, but like I still say we are in control because here's our downfall. All of us would see as schools. Mistake number 1. Wanting validation from us. First mistake. Wanting guts is one thing. Get guts, but don't go the validation route.
Yeah.
Because guts themselves are validation of who you are. And we take it all the way far with that. You know, hands must like you. You don't feel nice.
Hands must like you. But then, see that line, hands must like you. The problem is the distance that we go to make
sure. Hands like us. Yeah, exactly. That's the madness.
That's the madness.
That's the madness.
God, man, they're moving.
Yo, crazy. All our men, them. I would have told them niggas RIP.
Yes.
All the men, them, dog. All the hoes.
It's bad.
All the niggas, dog. I'm like, nah, fam. You can't be moving like that.
This tweet that was circulating last week, right? That was the tweet about this mother's tweeting man saying, yo,
the man with the child.
Yeah. What's except funny? I think there's no electricity. What are you saying? And then this guy gave a fair response. It wasn't
very fair.
It wasn't right.
Yeah.
About depending on how you feel. But we're not talking about feelings. We are addressing
the issue.
Yeah. What?
No, it wasn't wrong.
He wasn't
wrong at all.
He was not.
It wasn't wrong at all.
Yeah, boy. Oh, really? Outrage. Outrage.
I'm actually outraged when it comes up. The entitlement. Because you see, the food thing on those spaces has been trending for a while. The food thing has been trending for a while.
Yeah.
You know, because now my other man's had him like, yo, going in a fucking craze, dog, over a fucking Big Mac. You know? Like, let me buy some hands of 10. Let me buy 10 as a child. You know? So now Hans had to gauge themselves. It's okay, fuck it. I guess I'm not a 10. Goes to one by me cow.
Yeah.
And then they hit us with the sign language.
Sign language.
So, yeah, you know what I mean? I don't have to be a 10 to piss for your standards. Alright, cool, bro. You ain't getting my big back there. It's fine, though.
Even now, the sign language is heavy with that tweet.
Because man, it's like
I can't believe grown men are writing paragraphs about food. Yo,
nigga.
Yo, bro. That's called sign language. We'll give you a nice episode.
Just dissecting that. Yeah. But those that don't know.
You know what it is. That one.
So it's that initial entitlement. It's like, yo, if you feel a type of way about me, you must do this for me to show this. Like, no. Fuck your love language. What about my love language? What am I getting out of this transaction?
What are you getting out of? Because you see, the madness also happens when you give people who are not in position treatment that they don't deserve. How do you give, you know what I'm saying? How do you give a high girlfriend treatment or a high girlfriend? I want to tell them
of privileges that they don't deserve. I'll concede that they do the same at times, you know. But it's like, yo, I want to do the whole idea of provide and protect.
Yes.
That's for your wife. Right. Stop doing that willy-nilly to all the cross that you
The problem is now, us as O's, we're doing the whole us. They have forced us to believe we must subsidize their lives. That's not true. O's, don't
do that, dog. You have a money for that, you have a family for that, you have a fucking job for that. You are too scared, you've got your masters, PhD.
Quality man, law things and things and I don't know. Also must stop that shit. So you say number one is validation from the mothers.
Don't do that.
I would say number two, after you get the mothers, then you pedestalize the hands. Also must stop doing that shit.
But now, here's the thing, because I've done that shit before. You see, whoever pedestalizes the other person essentially is admitting that the other person has a higher social market value than themselves.
So in essence, you are saying, when you say that, you are saying this person doesn't deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, dog. If I get a 10 right now, I rate myself highly, dog. I rate myself highly.
Rate yourself out of 10, don't use 7.
I'm a use 7. I'm a use 7. Dog, the only reason I'm not a clean cut 10, dog, is the money thing.
Right.
Easily. And it takes a lot from you. So actually, now to don't use 7, I'll go 6 and say, no, only number 4 points. I use 3 points for WAP, maybe 1 point for height. But then I can't use the 1 point for height because in our society, I'm actually average height. Maybe even relative.
You're above average.
Exactly.
You see what I mean? We've spoken about this.
You see what I mean?
So,
but just so it makes sense and people don't look at me funny, I'll lose the 1 point for the height, I'll lose the 3 points for the WAP.
So that's 6.
That's a flat 6. Or a bad day.
Me. Yeah.
No, me. Me. No, there's not even personal. Me. Do you know who the fuck I am? Me. That's it. So you, as another party in your situation, easily though, you all get by 3 though. There's no way, dog. You're not beating me though. No. So you go that side.
Yeah. I hate that.
You forgot that. Let's go there.
Go for it.
Yeah, man, now people don't wanna be on those vibes, dog. I even struggle to hold myself a 6, dog, because I truly don't believe it. But now we start about the Mets. Yeah. You know what I mean? So what about the other O's?
Dog.
Busy simple.
You can't, no. I hate those parties.
Madness.
The pedestalizing the hands. And then the other problem is now, because of that behavior, other O's who are not in line with what you do are now being chastised.
Because you're not doing that. That's the wrong thing to do.
When we started this thing, and already there's O's that are falling into categories because of how they feel about what we are saying, right? Yeah. And now that taught me, you see, people always react based on their situation.
Yeah, definitely.
What they prescribe.
Definitely. Definitely. I would say, essentially, what started the whole madness stuff was when I dropped that tweet essentially in that tweet I said, none of us ain't shit.
Yeah.
Myself included, all of us ain't shit. No quality, no high value, zero, everybody. Essentially, that's what I said. You know, and I said that then with my right hand in my balls because I'm like, nah, guys, all of us is moving mad. You know, and then 2 months later, everyone is proving me right. Every single person is proving me right. You see, that's that low quality shit. That's that low value shit. You see in the million dog. We see in the million, it's like, yo, nigga, what are you doing? Really? You know what I mean? Hands up, even worse. Even worse. Even worse, you know? We're still waiting for that other content that we're hoping to drop. You see?
The hands let us down, man.
How does you let us down? How do you let us down? How do you let us down?
We're still waiting, but we'll see.
Yeah. So it's that kind of shit, though. It's that kind of energy. And it's like, yo, if you are confident you're not moving mad, then move proudly in your movements. Don't be ashamed.
There we go.
Don't be ashamed.
If you do it in the dark, shouldn't do it.
You don't be doing it alone. Don't be ashamed. I think there's man there that tell me straight up on the Twitter, like, yo, nah, I don't agree with your content. SD's too smooth, though. You see me, you still tell me the same story, but I don't agree with your content. But because you stand by your story, you're able to engage and be like, yo, now listen, here's why.
Here's
I'm
how
not
I
feeling
see
your shit.
right.
Here's what I'm feeling it from. And then these niggas that tippy toe.
Yeah, madness.
Now, things like that, it's like, nah, stop. Stand by yours. If you know you're moving back, you won't stand by it. That's why I stand by this. I'm like, yeah, it just is what it is. You know, if I have to concede here and there, I will. Because I know, mathematically, it's a track map. Asakulumi, preference, my truth. No, you don't have a truth here. It's only but you will need.
Because that's another thing that's caused the madness. My preference, my truth, that's a problem. It's a big.
But we have a market rate.
Everyone does.
Yeah, in life, everything is a market rate for it. That's why certain things cost this much and certain things cost this much. Yeah. When I can't be saying you are of the low quality, but you must demand the highest. Now we're going back to the car analogy though. If Volvo the message is made is fine. No matter if Volvo in the motor fresh legend, name fun in the messages. No matter I'm fine.
Then.
So name in the pattern thing and Volvo for the Mercedes price.
Yo,
fuck around by Mercedes there.
I just buy them.
Charlie William. Simple.
Yes.
I don't know, dog. I don't know. Do we like the madness or we're just in the situation because we're in the situation? Because it's like I'm moving around the way people move. That's why it's hard I don't understand.
Yeah, no, but at least because
labanye they are in the madness nesini yabona
ufika njani kulesi
ngoba angifuni ukuthi sikhulume kakhulu yabona nje ko ma-daily issues nalokho lethu that's what I'm saying. Those are the situations I'm talking about. But I think people just think it's the right way to do things now. Doing things the right way is now shunned upon. So for you to be in line with what everyone else is doing, you must be moving there.
Where they don't do what the Romans do.
You see what I'm saying? I wanted this thing of, we were watching, we were always discussing it, the interview at Israel.
Yeah.
On Mekchi's podcast, shout out Mekchi. And he was talking about that shit, dog.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, bruh, me I see that for 6 months, dog.
I'm telling you.
This is just our stand.
That's your boy. But I'm always been about that life, which is weird for someone who raps.
Just the stigma with niggas like you, upon niggas like you, rappers, DJs, you know, it's like these guys have too much access to white, so he's fucking a lot of girls.
Yeah.
So I think we have to stop
we have to exercise dick discipline. Shout out, what?
Shout out DD.
We have to exercise dick discipline. We have to, bro.
Now, how are you gonna exercise dick discipline if what makes you feel like a man is how many mummies you can smash?
Because then again,
The validation
it's the validation check. Because now we've been conditioned to think if you ain't smashing no bros, you ain't doing nothing. And you learn that in high school days, early days. By the time you get to this age,
You already know.
you're used to moving left. Yeah.
Oh, dog, it's like even you working so hard to become the kind of dude that hands with desire. It's for acts. So you can have more access and Taylor.
And Taylor, dog. Because ultimately, the cycle is we growing up, hands don't see us.
Yeah.
You get to a certain age, you start achieving,
They
then
see
they
you.
start to see you.
Yeah.
And our corner, they see you, so you.
Taylor.
Yeah. So the cycle is work hard to get to Vutela the hands. Ganzi is to work hard, achieve, and be a functional human being in society. Indaba Vutela is wrong because not that it's wrong. The excessive Vutela. You see what I'm saying? Because now we're talking about number one, bodies. Because remember, it's us under the smaller level, right? Energies, right, as well. Now you're collecting a lot of energies from all these hands, stuff. And all
From
the
all their bodies.
they've said, right? Huge stuff. Yeah. We're left with a lot of hands with kids and they want to be picked. And it's fair for them to want to be picked.
Yeah.
But their situation dictates you can't be chosen first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not the preference.
you're not the preference. And then there's the signal situation as well. Because besides things that were Futela, dog, my man they like to Futela with no shoes on.
Angizibelele sakhula makho ubeka boya uncomfortable nahlale la ufuna pitch makho cha uyabo ifike phone
I think it's a macum.
yo makho boya
Never can't.
yo
Are you sure? Yabo. So, yabo, all those dynamics, dog, it's except dick discipline, dog.
but it's like happy if we are validated by the hands we snatch.
I think that it goes back to the show. The teaching has to be don't seek validation from us. Ultimately.
Dog, everything that makes you a man and a proper man, a high value man, to some degree is outside of house.
We spoke about highlighted, go check out previous episodes.
You know? But then an element of the high value is what he has desire. You see, that was the thing. You see, it
Yes.
has that desire.
Because
They can all want you. Don't stand. Don't. I imagine calling Dr.
yeah.
I remember my boys always told me like, yo, bro. You know those bitches that used to clown on us dog when I was young. Not give us that quiet, bro. But the way you want to give us. And he got his together. So now he's on the
It's crazy.
one. Now he's on the mad one.
Doing a
He's on the mad one, dog. Like on some and that's it, this shit. Y'all bitches was sleeping on me when I was starving, when I was hungry, when I was
Everything, when I-
now, son, fuck y'all, come here.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh.
Yeah. All heads must go. What created that? What created that? The rejection from this. That's another thing that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
We see what turns men into monsters.
Monsters. Remember that video we were watching about this guy talking about the abuse thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's saying within every man is a beast and a king.
Yeah.
It's only you who can
As the
decide
hand.
as the hand.
Yeah.
You see,
What you
bring
bring
out
out.
the beast in him, you bring out the king in him. Rejection only creates beasts.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts. And there's too many beasts now. Too many beasts now. Too many beasts.
because the madness now manifests in a way such that we see women as possessions towards them. Answer this nigga now.
You see,
Yeah.
guys, he's someone who appreciates who's no, but I'm this nigga, and she played an integral part in making me that nigga. That's a different mentality altogether. Because it's like, no, here's who I am, but her role was key to me being who I am. Girls don't want to do that anymore. You don't want to build a castle, you want to move into the castle. Alright, cool, move into the castle, but now understand, you are moving into my situation that I built on my own. You're not adding any value to that.
Yeah.
So even how you're treated will be at.
Yeah.
No, you're not adding any value anyway there.
Because the one thing that I would advocate for the ladies who would say they don't want to build with us anymore. Because this is also a madness. But there's a psychology there. They don't want to build with us because they build with us 15 years and then 5 years later just go every moment. Sakile, marketing, decoration.
You know what?
That's a madness.
That hurts me also. Like when we do it as the host, that hurts me also. But then now, also understand this. As men, we're constantly evolving. Every day. What I liked yesterday, I don't like today. Yesterday, I was just having a chat with you. I'm like, yo, I don't want to drink. Like in that way and form. This year, yes. Shit. Nah, I'm not doing that anymore. And I used to fucking love doing that shit. Every fucking thing. So now, if you get a Barracks, that takes you from level 2 to level 5. Fair. That's 3 levels of growing on her part and on your part. But now I'm going to level 6. She's incapacitated to move to level 6 with me. She's already grown 3 steps because of me. Because of pushing my shit. Now she can't go further than that to keep her around.
So
you're going to level 6 now.
Capped now. Yeah.
You're going level 6 now.
Yeah.
And level 6 takes you from 6 to 8. At 8 you gotta let her go too.
You need a different kind of money.
Now we're going 9, 10. Different
Because
kinds of
again,
things everywhere.
as much as it's a madness leaving the hand, right?
No, it's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold.
But those situations are rare where Imaras sticks it out and the man keeps her around all the way through his growth and success.
Yeah. Because she doesn't want to stick it out herself.
It's tough being next to the high value guy.
Here's the other thing though. That hands really need to get through their heads and maybe start to accept. Or at least adjust to. Excuse me. There's that whole thing of would say the high value man is not yours.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to you. That's the issue. Before he was high value, he did belong to you. But he's high value now. It doesn't belong to you.
It can't belong to
It
you.
belongs to the people. It belongs to his purpose.
Then you can afford it. Yeah, true.
And Hans don't like that shit. Hans want to be number 1.
In theory.
In theory, yes. Perfect. In theory. And you can't be number 1 with the high value dude. Because purpose first, then me, then you. I put purpose beyond me.
Yeah, because it's bigger than you. Yeah, before.
You understand what's the purpose is bigger than both of us, except being third. Now if I have youths, you fourth. Yo.
Yeah.
But me.
Yeah.
Why? No, there's a sim that's what I mean. Then we go there. There's a sim. There's some nigga that's gonna make me number 1. Then we go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you now, bro. In my life, I haven't lived that long. Not that young either, though. So fairly experienced. Every time I pedestalized a hand and made a number 1 in my life, I lost that. Every time. But every time it was just me, hands were there.
Yes.
All the hands that I mattered to were in my space on my terms. Not on some dictatorship shit, no. But they were in my space when I was moving in my purpose and in my destiny. So now we are coming into something that's already there. And all the other hands that made you sway from that and look at them, don't respect me as much.
Yeah. This thing.
You know what I mean?
Your mommy and daddy daddy, your brother, your sister, the dog, the cat, the fish was home when you left. You're right. And that's the reason you left. You're right. I left my home. I left my home. Johnny on.
Yeah, though. So like I was saying, though, this thing even reinforces one idea that I'm very familiar with and I'm starting to be very fond of. Would say whenever you put a woman first, it takes you away from everything that should be put first. Your purpose and God. So we don't acknowledge how deep the sibling situation goes. Because we just look at the gestures and the method of trying to get somebody.
Yeah.
We don't look at the bigger picture of what then that does to you as a man. That's why now they straight themselves when that doesn't matter.
Ish. Because that's a madness on both parts. She did a madness.
You afraid yourself.
You killed yourself for a madness. It's like, yo.
Yeah, man. So it's that thing because now you've made this person who's a human being first, a woman second. And I'm not saying that to be derogatory or anything like that, but they are fickle and they are volatile. And they make decisions based on impulse. So you can't bank on that type of a person, make that person work. Because someone wakes up tomorrow and feels like, fuck this nigga. He doesn't do it for me anymore. It's a rap. How you afraid yourself, bruv? Chris Benoit, that shit. Yo! You know?
Chris Benoit, R.I.P.
You know what I mean, dog? Like, don't be in a position where you can be that guy. And that only happens because so far you do it inside. So you talk in your hand.
Yeah, man.
Because the rule is, dog, don't put yourself in a situation that you can't walk away from in 10 seconds.
Fuck that.
So however you feel about this, dog, whatever the scenario is, if it's getting you off frame, within 10 seconds, you must be able to be like,
Zero go.
yo, I think the hat is there, my boy. There's no
What's the
little
thing, dog? There's this quote by my man's dog. He's like, attachment is the beginning of suffering. Friends. When you're not attached to something, you're in a flow state. But once you are fully in, emotionally in, it gets tricky. Now it gets tricky. Now it gets tricky because you can't use when it's logic versus emotion and you're attached to logic and that.
You know, as you are putting it in the way you're putting it, dog, I'm even starting to like flashback to some scenarios that I have with my pops. I was like, yo, that nigga Nazi at some point he had to detach. Like at some point I was like, no, yeah, sure. It's my youth.
Yeah.
But he's old now. He's himself. More than he's my kid. He's himself. So I can't impose anything. I can't do anything. He'll do what he wants. The best I can do is just guide and kind of shelter him from certain things. I'm like, you know what? But like, yo, just keep it within these parameters. At the very least. For your own safety, motherfucker. It's not about me. Because now it became that thing. Like, it was just not what he wants anyway. That's the detection. That's necessary. And I'm learning that now, how to detach from situations. And all that, it's making me a little bit of a mean person. Because I'm just like, yeah, 1, 2.
Yes.
Because I always used to get texted. I'm a cancer though, so it's that thing. It's like, yo, if I feel a type of way about you, I ride with that. But now I'm like, yo, but sometimes your own feelings, dog, are not justified. You just feel how you feel because of ideas you planted in your own head. It's not what it is. I'm also going to say what is.
And ultimately, this is what we're trying to drill through today. I would say, as things stand, as we look at it, what is? It's a madness right now. It's a madness.
But you override that because of how you feel, you see.
And then when I tell you,
don't
no, give out. Give out, dog.
Let it go.
Let it go, dog. Let it go, bruh.
From the streets she came, from the streets she shall return.
Nah, bro. It's a madness, bro. It's a madness, dog. Because the other thing, right, the other madness that's going on is like, we're so used to being in a madness, doing a madness.
Yeah.
You know, that when something that requires you to stop the madness is going to be good for you and your growth, your process. You don't even want to do that. Yeah. We are born in 6 years. I'm going to 6 months, dog. Ngele KFC nje kancane. I've made progress. You know.
Yeah, you don't get fine. That's what we know.
Because look, Jima,
it's not such you.
We are all
gone just like that.
Right? Because I'm saying this to go on to the point of Uzi. We know where we're trying to be, right?
Yeah.
iPads, all the complex. And then
limits.
Oh, come with matters. That now requires you to be off the madness.
We will feel the currently, let me just say, currently, it's that situation.
You looking at, she's not perfect, obviously. But where she is requires you to not be where you are. Right?
Yeah.
Mentally, cool. Stop the madness.
Fuck the high. I'm not stopping the madness. I'm stopping the high. The madness must carry on. I'm stopping the high.
And that's the thing, though. We don't want to do the work to get there.
Here's the thing. That is genuine now. Stop the madness. Because the hearts that get in the madness.
Yeah.
To overexert myself.
Now that's a standard on the hands side. We are now conforming to these standards, yes. Because a good hand comes along and you be like, I can get 4 hands in the madness.
Guys, yeah, this one, I must be clean.
Bucket.
It's a thousand inside. Because in any situation, though, whenever you bring light to people, the instinct is to reject it because now you're taking me out of the darkness that I'm used to.
Yes.
Like I'm always saying, your comfort zone is not necessarily comfortable, but it's your comfort zone. It's what you know, it's who you are. So now you're taking me out of that. You're saying, what I am is not enough. That hurts to see that information. So what I am is not enough. I need to be better than this, and I can be better. Because that's what you're struggling. No, you can be better.
And you only feel this when the mother starts saying things to you, or people start saying things to you, or the homie that you told me, she said, like, said, you're better than this. Do you know that if you can just stop doing this and do this where you be, it's a wrap?
As a fool, bro. Because I tell people shit like that. I receive information like that. I can say, one of the mothers is one of the like, yo, bro, do you know how solid of a nigga you are? And you could be.
Yeah.
Just the man is the dog there. Say a shit is there, buddy. Just be I don't like looking for you.
And that's a madness on its own, bro.
No, though, because I can't keep up.
Yeah.
I can't keep up. It's like, yo, now, you know when you go the metro routes, now, everything is order, everything is check, everything is like, nah, yo, I can't facilitate for that. And that's my reality. It's like, yo, I can't facilitate for it. So why should I do that? You know what I mean? Until, once I can manage it, then I know it's on.
But you still won't do it.
That's the one.
See, when you can't manage it, you don't even care for real. What's it said? I can live this life that you want and that I want.
Yeah.
I just don't have to. Because I'm that nigga.
Simple though.
You know?
Simple though. Why do you think bitches always shit? Why do you think hands always look like hoes all the time? Because they know when they clean up. One time they clean up, it's a hot. And you know, for me though, there's nothing I find sexier than fucking sweatpants and t-shirts.
Okay. That's me.
What?
Hoodie. You know what I'm saying? Confidence.
Just, imagine the hands then become those hoes. Because we did that episode with Suits the one time, looking clean and shit. triple platinum.
Facts. But we made it disclaimer.
It's not every day.
Yeah, because you see in that episode, we were in the shirts and the shoes looking clean, but still, it wasn't the maximum.
No, it wasn't. Because it didn't go to that.
Don't worry about that. But my point was, 9 days out of 10, you're not gonna see us dressing, particularly me, though. And I'm also in a bit of a madness now, because no, I must be honest though. I'm in a bit of a madness, bro. It's particularly the women in my family, Jay. They just feel like, bruh, when I ask you don't care anymore, are you okay? You don't wanna dress up, you don't wanna cut your hair.
Well, I check what the problem is. Now you seem like you don't care. Because you know, you've done the math. I've realized. What's about no? I have the same thing with my family. It's like, yo, dog, the version of you that we like is the version of yourself that you don't want to be. Why? And then I'm like, yo, bro, you guys only like what you like for your reasons. I don't want to say you're full of shit, but you like that because you like it. For whatever reason you like it for. Wanna know what it's good for? It's good for the image.
For the image.
It's good for the image. It's good for saying, oh, yo, that's not nice.
Yeah. So
Guys, if your man is a bit dizzy, and it's like, yo, man, that's my guy.
Yeah.
You know, because the work is speaking. That's the thing now. The work is speaking. Everything else is speaking around him. But it's like, yo, he's just not the version of himself that we want.
Yeah.
That's when I started doing that.
Yeah, because there was like a mini intervention. It's like, you're giving up on that. What's going on, man? And it's just the look. It's just the look. Today I'm wearing jeans. First time in yo. It's effort. Guys, my thing is, I can still get the outcomes out the effort of this.
Yeah.
So why must
I do this? Dog, I won't break. I get hurt. I get hurt, bro, because this whole thing, dog, is like, okay, now I do what you want me to do.
Yes.
Does that give me a better outcome than what I was already getting? No. No, just more attention unnecessarily. Expectations that I need to match unnecessarily. So I'm like, yo, let me not do that. You know, if you're gonna click with the boy in a capacity that could allow you to be around the boy long term.
Yes.
Because you clicked in that way. Because if you just see the look, now you see me with the cut, you see me without my beard, and you like that. Next thing I grow my beard and I grow my hair, that changes. Because that's not what you bought. That's not the product.
And again, it goes back to your first point that you started with, getting the validation from the women, right? The issue is women change their mind all the time about what they like. All the time. Today they put on sweatpants, tomorrow they want them.
Tomorrow they
Now
want
they like
shorts,
one shorts and flops. Today they want fade, tomorrow I grow your hair, do natural. Next thing, pierce your ears now, they're tired of earrings. Now you got tattoos all over your body. How did you do that to yourself? It's like, bro, but you guys like that.
That's why I mean, into me that game. Not what they say,
What they respond to.
what do they respond to? The masculinity. How we define the masculinity now is up to us.
As the host, don't let that tell us what masculinity.
But they definitely respond to the masculinity. As you have seen with men dating, that be moving feminine. The response is not the same.
Yes.
Of course. The response is not the same. Of course. You get the RTs.
Yep.
You get the Twitter engagements. What am I going to get? I'm going to get the private calls and the you see the viscous inmates. Come on.
Shout out MTR.
Come on, yeah.
What's the outcome that you want?
What do you want to? You want the RTs? Cool. Do that. That's fine. Off you, banana. That's validation, my boy.
Yeah, that's a madness, though. It's a madness. You know, it's really, really, really a madness because the other madness that's going on right now is about this thing of the hosts bringing each other down based on their views. Also, that's a madness.
Facts. Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's one, because we could easily be those guys. So we're looking at these O's moving away that we
Feel like
it's wrong, and then don't pull that over. That's a madness. Walk your lane, bro. Get the outcomes that you want. So if you want the other side of us as well, don't talk down on the O's because you don't agree.
facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts. You know, at some point I always used to rate O's higher than I would rate hands in terms of these kinds of engagements. Me and you can disagree and actually have that engagement.
Yeah.
I'll go home having learned something, about your standpoint. Yo, but I understand why he thinks like this and he says this. We have that engagement ourselves. But now what's unfortunate is once their perspective is in line with the feminine imperative, there's a disconnect.
Yes.
Because they do exactly what has to switch off
off.
when they don't like what they're being told. And I don't respect that person. So I'll call you out for it. Yeah, well, and then I'm an asshole. And it's like, no, you're being funny. You're moving a little feminine. And there's nothing wrong with feminine energy. I love me some feminine energy.
From a mother.
But I know what it is. It's feminine energy. From mothers, of course. No, we have to go to from O's.
Yeah.
It's awkward. It's like, yo, why are you coming with that energy? You know, regardless of your orientation and everything, don't come with that energy. That's feminine energy. Whoever you are, whatever lifestyle you've chosen, that's all. Come at me with the right energy.
Yes.
Don't do what the others do. That's what matters.
That's what they're we're already dealing with a lot coming from their side. So I'm getting that now.
Then again, though, you must remember the society we live in.
We were having this discussion yesterday, I think it was. We were talking about how we are in a matriarchal society.
Yeah.
Social. Big keyword. Because our culture is masculine.
Yes.
In itself.
Culture and the what's this other one? Yeah, so structurally
Yes.
it's patriarchal. But socially
It's a matriarchal society.
Yeah.
So whenever we said this again on the PSA, why is it that every time a hand's gonna play with something, it must be approved?
How's that being, my boy?
Matriarchal society.
How's that being?
You know, and well, now we're gonna have to tread very carefully when we talk about this one because it's another mess that's going on. It's running wild now. This abuse thing, dog. Yeah, because again, those standards are now being set by the matriarchy.
Yeah, the matriarchal
society.
Sure.
Because abuse, bro, we're seeing it happening a lot. Again, those need to fix up some way. Because it's not the act, like you said one time. It's not the act necessarily. That is the.
It's what leads to the act, the conditioning.
What happens before
you go all the way there?
The beast comes out. Something happens there. Or something
To trigger
happens
the beast.
Yeah, what?
Okay, you know what? I know they want an episode from us about this, and we've been treading carefully around it because nobody wants to be cancelled for having an opinion that's maybe opposing the general consensus. And the general consensus is outrage, just because.
Yes, outrage. Yes.
Here's the thing with that, though. I always say this. Everyone wants to operate from I need to sit down properly for this. Everyone wants to operate from a situation where they have that advantage, right? When it comes to abuse, let's take it back a little bit. We men, we are the more physically advantaged specimens, you know, in comparison to women, right? So that's why I understand something. Chances are, even if I can't fight other hoods, I can definitely fuck up my hand. Just based on the predisposition of the body structures and strength. You know, so she's losing that fight. She's definitely losing that physical fight. Gazi, the emotional fight, she's definitely winning that all the time. Now, the point that I was making, we all want to operate from nowhere. inside. With the blow. Where are you strongest? The emotions. So the speaker and emotional manipulation and abuse. That's what you're gonna do as a hand. Right. So you go there. Now you do that. This triggers that. Yeah. Because I can't beat you there. So if I'm arguing back and forth, I'm gonna lose.
Because there you stop reasoning. Because you can't reason when the emotion is overcome. Right.
Now it's gotta be there. My emotions have overcome my reasoning capacity. What's the next instinct? Where can I beat you now? Now I'm trying to win.
Again.
You're winning now.
That again, you're saying instinct, not response. It's instinct.
No, seriously, where am I trying to win? Where am I the strongest?
Yeah.
Inside.
Hands on.
We heard the other Bali that was saying, see, behind every physically abusive man is an emotionally abusive woman. I'm not saying that's true.
Yeah.
But yo, let's check the stats. Let's check ourselves what our nonsense. You as a hand, if a nigga has hit you in your life, what the fuck you say to that? No, honestly, what the fuck you say to that nigga?
Because again, we need to put it in context. We are not talking about, because they are crazy people.
That's fine.
Let's just put that disclaimer out there. Nigga will walk in here and shoot all of us for no reason. Why this guy's happy? Done. We're not talking about crazy people. We're talking about rational human beings on both sides.
Because for a hand to speak a certain way to you. Nah, so what's it happening?
Yeah. Anyway.
So now to back and forth, I do this, you do something bigger. I react to that, now I do something bigger. It comes down to where do I function the strongest?
Yeah.
Us as the O's is the fist. You as the hands is the speaker and the fucking mental and emotional manipulation. Because they're good at that.
Because again, the other thing is now the act has happened, the physical has happened.
Yeah.
So we will all know what's it. And one's gonna ask you to when there. Stop
nalabanye bafati mhlawumbe laba khona ukumukela ukuthi nabo bayijabulise mathinde betindlela efana naleyo khona labanye nasubeva sebaxoxe nabona asho ukuthi ngibhathana lento lenyende ngingasi indlela lekhulume ngayo bengasi avume yena to herself say no, you're not. I know men shouldn't be women. But it starts with the side.
If I'm being fair, I was wrong.
If I'm being fair. But now, because of the matriarch and the feminine imperative, they offend us, they are said. So this is one edge, it's me in trying. When I'm busy, I'm just emotional.
Some child, they proof equal. But there's no proof.
Don't tell me what they have.
Yeah, boy.
When karma hits, so I go in there, we're man. That thing does that. What I am is that. It's not about deep shit. But all the niggas are for me until deathbed. You see that woman will be things 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Meaning you vilify this nigga, you've cancelled this nigga. Guns now, what about you cut? If you know about the deadly issues, right? And then you pick on that when you're with me.
Women will hurt your feet.
My boy, answer the thing. We can't see those bruises, my boy. We can't see those scars.
Women will hurt your feet.
All it takes is one trigger, though. Couple of words, couple of sentences, blackout.
Yeah.
Delete.
You see red.
And I'm not saying I'm condoning this. I'm just saying, let's be fair. Let's use the same metric, guys. Women are abusive. Their abuse is just emotional. Ours is physical. Broke niggas don't deserve no pussy. You a broke nigga, you ain't shit. What do you think that's to a man's psyche, dog? Now I make money. With that, I'll tell you a motive of what's on my shoulder.
Yeah.
First million I rake, said I'm gonna piss on you and I'm gonna shit on you. In the literal sense. Now how you feel about that? Who caused that?
It's a madness.
Yabo.
Let's show stop putting your hands on them.
No, you see, now to rectify the issue on the O side. Any nigga that puts his hands on a woman is a nigga that doesn't understand his masculinity. No one knows how to deal with his own masculinity.
Remember the value episode when we dropped the clips, right? And there's that clip where you were saying, yo, I'm not saying be abusive to, or you were actually saying, no, O's don't be emotional.
Yeah,
Don't be emotional.
Yeah.
And the Hans, obviously, the way they understood that was
be more emotionally unavailable.
Be emotionally unavailable. And all we are saying is be able to communicate how you feel. Don't be emotional. Because this is an emotional response.
Yeah.
Putting your hands on the mother as well.
Yeah.
And if your emotions are not in check,
you definitely not do that shit. I don't say it was the whole thing. Actually, I was breaking down emotional intelligence. But say for them, emotional intelligence is me being soft with you and crying with you. No, that's not emotional intelligence. That's the vulnerability that you deny from me, just so you know my weak spots, making me an emotional champion. No, that's not emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is understanding my emotions and how they affect the decisions I make. And then also understanding yours while you're saying what you're saying.
So I move properly.
So that's why when a hand starts being offensive and spewing all that mess to trigger you into going into your instinct, know that. That's emotional intelligence, like I said. That's why I was going into a trap. That's when you either walk away or you do something else. You just don't matter. Now, for me, it's either I walk away or I say something back. Now I operate on the emotion.
Yeah.
I say something back so mean that it ruins your whole life. And I won't lie, I usually do that. And it's like, oh, okay, you think you can beat me emotionally? You can't beat me. You are strongest. I'm still strong.
I'm still stronger than you. Yeah.
So I just say, one item is so bad. I will not to touch you with my face. I'll fuck you up with my face with the first thing in my life. So now stop doing that though. I will not stop doing that. It's some people that are burnt and still feel the karma of doing that. So I'm not going to go just don't do that. At least you understand where she's coming from and where she's at. Because you get it, be the better person. But sometimes like now, low blow, back. Let's see. Now we can go the whole way. Talk, we can go. Who's gonna die first? It's like, okay, that's toxic shit.
So because the abuse is
nah, bro. The thing is, the focus of all abuse is the physical.
always.
Let's address all the abuse.
Because we can see it with very people because of it. But when a nigga now hangs himself,
My boy,
you see what I mean to say? No one is going to address the fact that he was emotionally abused. Because he can't cry. His emotional response is always a physical result.
And because he knows the outrage of if he does it there, it's like, fucking let me myself.
Any normal man is not going to just wake up and decide to kill himself. And you're fighting by one.
Ngabafati laba sibona umuntu lo wathi kuwa ukushaya umhlaba bamposhile emsebenzini umfati uchithile umfati ongishiyile ngisakhona sekuyaphelela ini
Off.
we don't notice that thing like yo this nigga what a stupid nigga why did he kill himself address it why was he feeling like he can't live beyond what has happened because how don't friend themselves over this shit, though? Hands friend you, right? R.D. Flower.
Yeah.
Hands friend you. They just friend themselves because they can't friend hands. They can't touch hands. No, true. Friend themselves, right? Yeah, well, that's why I always say, yo, shout out Chris Benoit.
Switched off every machine.
Red.
Yeah.
Everything, everybody.
R.I.P.
Dog. How do you get to that fucking point, dog?
That's a man.
What pushes you to that fucking point? Aside, but it's also what's in the eyes,
What I'm saying is let's look at everything and address everything.
We can't look at everything though, because the hands must always win.
Feminine imperative.
Then you marry the pledge.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Look at everything objectively, but what? Be like, yo, but like, why do they do this? Why do we do this? Why are we forced to do this? Nakona in quotes. Because in essence, madness doesn't move for anyone. Doesn't work for us, doesn't work for them, doesn't work for society. But because you are not know, that's all I feel. Now when you are free to do shit, you don't know what to do. Because you're free. You know, even like in the political landscape, like if we look at countries like this, it's that thing, it's like, yo, niggas were fighting for the struggle. That's what they know. Fighting for their freedom. Now you've won. You've got your freedoms. Okay. What next? Then they fuck up. The worst master is the former slave.
Yeah.
Same thing with hands right now. Who's the master right now? It's the hands. They're the masters right now.
Yeah.
See if I'm over here. Who get us right now? Now, I'm more now. Who get us right now? They're the masters. But they were oppressed before? They were. Former slaves.
Now
They're the masters.
Yeah.
What's happening? Chaos.
Madness.
Chaos. And see, that's black men we must always understand, though. Which we were always enslaved in one way or form.
Always.
It's just unfortunate. What's it before? It was by other oaths. Now it's by our hands.
Not even other hands. Our
hands.
Are you black? Yeah.
So that's now.
It's a madness.
It's a madness, though.
Yeah.
Everything is a madness. Okay, how do we fix the madness? First, let's start by, because what's the first part of fixing any problem? Is understanding the problem. Just understand the problem. Madness.
Yeah.
Everything is just a madness.
Let's call it what it is. Let's call it.
See, next, where's the to surprise? Meaning, on behalf of all those. Bear in mind, I never want to carry the cross for niggas. Because they are crazy.
Proper.
But, proper. We as the O's, we are moving mad.
Yeah.
What happened now? What's happening?
Your mommy, your daddy, your brother, your sister, the dog, the cat, the fish was home when you left.
You're right.
And that's the reason you left.
You're right.
I left my home.
I left my home.
To join the army.
What I was trying to say is, we are moving mad. Sure, I'll concede to that. But now, let's not act like the hands on a Masuku in those situations, because they are moving mad.
Yes.
Whether that's because of us, whatever the case.
Yes.
But the reality is, all of us are moving mad right now. That's why there's so much turmoil between the sexes. You want this, you want that. Like even the whole thing with the love language, bro. I'm just like, yo, bro, you can't love me in your love language. You have to love me in mine. And I have to love you in yours.
Yes.
And that's the cognitive dissonance that they have. They want to love you how they want to be loved. It's like, no, that doesn't work for me. Give me what works for me and I'll give you what works for me. And that's the thing with dudes. Dudes are always willing to make the fair trade.
Sure.
Dudes are always willing. It's like, oh, you know what? You give me what I need, though. Trust me, I'm not giving you what you need. And if I can, I'm gonna give you what you want as well.
Because dudes, most across the board, most
Sensible
are
dudes.
fair.
Yeah, sensible dudes are like that. Like
Fair.
dudes, it's like the whole thing of, you know how they always say, like, whoever loves more has already lost. With dudes, it's like, if you love someone more than they love you, they always take advantage of that. But with dudes is, yo, because I have this that I need, I'm gonna try to keep it. So they try all they can to fight. That's with hands, it's the opposite. It's like, yo, because I know I have you, I don't need you, I'm gonna come back to you.
It's the whole banking thing you spoke about. What you check.
See, with that now.
Yeah.
Because I check now. Because I know, but this hand, yo, I'm cashing in. I'm cashing in. Even if the hours in the preference for you. It's like, no, but because she's giving me what I need, you're cashing in. You know, guys, with hands, it's like, no, let me go around the world first. And then come back to you, because I know I got you.
Yeah.
Then now.
It's short end of the stick, bad buying experience, bad
No,
product.
they always are trying to get the best or nothing, though. Because quality is expensive, man. You pay for quality. It doesn't have to be quality,
Yeah.
but you pay for quality. Yeah, but that's the thing that hands don't like.
And that ideology is a madness on its own. But we'll see when you want everything from nothing. And when they want.
Hands what you add. Some will give them everything.
But right, I mean, even if
So we must
see,
stop
that's the
doing
problem.
that.
It's those
few bodies who just do anything for the mothers.
Those who
Examine mothers, because you remember, women don't take down.
yes.
So if already she's gotten the world from this nigga, but he was toxic in whatever way he was toxic. But because he used to give me everything, now she's using that as the framework to get into the next situation. Like, the least you can do now is match up on the debt. Guys, you can do better, but in other aspects of her life. Those are consequential because she's used to this. I've lost out on mothers because of that. It's like, yo, what you guiding me is now, but it's not what I'm used to. And because I'm not used to it, I have to adjust to it. Like, well, yes, it's not, it's different. I never got this from the other cats. But now I'm used to what I got from the other cats.
Yeah.
You're definitely not giving me that.
Yeah.
And the worst case scenario in my position is, what is my choice?
Oh.
It's not what you can't. It's my choice.
By choice.
Nah, we ain't doing that over here. Because I'm trying to teach you something. I'm trying to put you on the game. I'm trying to have you move right.
Yeah.
And it's cool, bro. If you don't want to move right, it's cool. But don't expect and demand and claim you deserve the outcome of moving right. You're not moving right.
Yeah.
So the outcome that you get is exactly what you deserve.
Your outcomes are, like we always say, relationships and your outcomes are reflective. How you are, so how you moving, and who you are, and then so it's been a training chat. This last segment was
Dog. But no, this one, I'm confident about it. It feels right.
Yeah,
we've had to address these things.
these things. Yeah.
Because a lot of people now looking at us funny for moving how we move. It's like, nah, bro. You niggas is on the madness. Your madness is on the madness. So please, let's cap the madness. We're on the madness of our bags, but let's cap it,
bro. Slow it down.
Let's cap it.
Make adjustments. Be better people. Ultimately, we'll have a better society.
That's all, dog. That's all we're preaching. Accountability for all.
Yes.
Creating the society that we all want to live in.
Function.
Because if you are comfortable in this society, then bet you'll thrive and you'll show that you stay in this society because it works for you. But from an objective perspective, this is a bullshit society. We're moving on and man. All of us.
Doing the madness.
All of us, all the time. Let's stop it.
Smith is on the madness. Everyone's on the madness.
though.
Yeah, man.
Let it go.
Yeah, man. Nah, man.
It's been another chilled episode, man.
Very nice chat. Like, comment, subscribe. To the Barracks.
Barracks SD Instagram, Barracks SD Twitter. You know who we is, so you can follow that too.
Yes.
Link on the description of the video. You'll connect with the homies, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how you feel about this. Signing out.
Yeah.
The Barracks Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe.
The cat was home when you left.
You're right.
The fish was home when you left.
You're right.
Your mommy, your daddy, your brother, your sister, the dog, the cat, the fish was home when you left.
You're right.
And that's the reason you left.
You're right.
I left my home.